Hi, my name is Juan Jose Gonzalez, and I'm the Pathways Director for Education System Center. Today, I'm going to be speaking with you all about the college and career pathway endorsements in the state of Illinois. Briefly about Education System Center, we are affiliated with Northern Illinois University, and we work on three primary policy areas: college and career pathways, bridges to post-secondary, which includes dual credit and transitional instruction, and we also work on data impact and leadership. And we do this work primarily with state institutions and state agencies such as the Illinois State Board of Education, the Community College Board, Board of Higher Education, and other workforce agencies like DCEO. We also do a lot of our work, and increasingly so, with local community collaboration. So that means working with local partnerships of high school districts, colleges, and universities, as well as workforce systems who are working on these three policy areas as well. Whenever possible, we also work to seek out innovation and new opportunities in these spaces, working with our state agency partners as well as our community collaborations. What I wanted to introduce you all to is the college and career pathway endorsements in the state that started really in the July of 2016 with the passage of the Postsecondary and Workforce Readiness Act. This law has a lot of components to it, including the PACE framework, the scaling of 12th grade transitional courses, and also competency-based education. But my presentation is going to be primarily focused on the college and career pathway endorsements. In order to understand the college and career pathway endorsement implementation and structure, we really need to look at the way that the state is moving towards in regards to the implementation of pathways and then the understanding of what makes a proper pathway. Many times we think of a pathway as synonymous with career and technical education or a program of study or just like college progression. But in reality, there's a growing kind of set of definitions that present the following framework that you see here on your screen. First of all, a proper pathway has some very robust and unique individual student planning. A student must really prepare for the completion of high school, but also for the transition to and success at the post-secondary space. A pathway is also going to have very robust career-focused instruction. You might have normally thought of career-focused instruction as just career and technical education, but in the Pathways framework, career-focused instruction is going to be a little more expansive, a little broader, and not uniquely focused on CTE courses. So one example I give of this is psychology being a very robust career-focused course for a student perhaps pursuing an education pathway, or AP computer science for a student who might be pursuing a pathway in IT or business. A pathway is going to have very robust work-based learning. This is not unique. Many kind of CTE programs of studies or pathways currently have work-based learning, but we're going to expand on some of those definitions in some subsequent slides. More importantly, there's also an attention to core academic subject areas, meaning what is happening in English and math instruction, as well as science and social science, and how do those courses complement the career-focused courses to further progress a student in their pathway. And lastly, a proper pathway is going to have an opportunity for a student to start at the secondary space, go to and through into a post-secondary pathway progression, whether that be a post-secondary space like a community college, a university, trade school, or some other similar institution. But along the way, the student's going to have the opportunity to earn industry credentials, stackable credentials, college degrees, college certificates, and it's going to be able to seamlessly go in and out of the pathway, earn more earning power through more industry credentials and more college degrees earned, and have higher economic outcomes. What's really important as a student as they start a pathway that we not track students into a certain role or a profession, but really introduce them to the broad subject area, the broad category of an industry, and allow the student to make their own internal decisions about where they want to end up and what level of skill and kind of degree attainment they want to accomplish. Up until now, there hadn't been a way for students to really indicate that they were in a pathway or had some expertise in a pathway while they were in high school. That is why the state created this college and career pathway endorsement framework with the PWR Act I mentioned before. The pathway endorsement framework or the pathway endorsements are going to be something that a student earns onto their diploma and on their transcript. This is going to be very similar to the state's current states of biliteracy, where a student can graduate high school proving that they are bilingual in either English and another foreign language and subject area as well, and it's marked on their transcript. Likewise, a student who earns a college and career pathway endorsement is going to have that indicated on their diploma with a sticker, as well as their high school transcript. And it's going to have carry certain value or weight, similar to what maybe like an IB diploma might carry or value at the international level. These 7 categories that you see here on your screen now, finance and business, human and public services, so on and so forth, are the 7 broad categories that a student can earn their pathway endorsement in. Almost like meta majors, each of these categories has subcategories and subpathways within them, as you might expect. So, for example, in human and public services, a student might earn a pathway endorsement for education or perhaps with criminal justice. In finance and business services, maybe there's subcategories of accounting, but also of entrepreneurship, right? And in health science, you might earn a nursing pathway, or you might earn an endorsement perhaps in medical technology. Each of these areas are broad enough, they match up with the national career clusters, and the state has adopted these 7 endorsement areas for students to earn their endorsement and to continue their pathways. Education System Center, working with a lot of our colleagues at the high school and community college space, as well as employer partners and HR representatives throughout the state, then took these pathway kind of definitions, pathway structure, and went a step further and created a set of technical and employability competencies for each student earning the pathway endorsement. What you see here first on your screen is a general set of essential employability competencies that a student who earns the pathway endorsement when they graduate high school is going to have a certain minimum set of kind of employability and workplace skills that they have displayed and should be displaying through their competencies. More importantly, for each endorsement area, we also create a set of technical competencies, meaning unique to this industry sector, what are the technical competencies that a student should and will display upon graduating high school, earning the pathway endorsement in this endorsement area. For those of you accessing my screen, I want to highlight that there is a hyperlink on this page. Click here on the picture on your left, and what you'll see is a PDF document that explains the origins of the college career pathway endorsements, how we created and achieved these technical and essential employability competencies, who were the representatives who helped to create these competencies, and what they seek to accomplish. One big takeaway that I like to tell folks is that a student earning a college career pathway endorsement should have the ability to immediately enter into the workforce in that industry sector with an entry level job, or immediately progress to a post secondary institution and take upper level courses within that industry sector. What you see here now on your screen is the absolute requirements for a student to earn the college career pathway endorsement. These subject areas or these requirements are broken down into the 4 general categories of the state pathways framework I mentioned before. You see here at the top of your screen, individual planning. A student must complete an endorsement with an individual student plan that likely prepares them for their career, not beyond high school and into post-secondary. I want to focus here now on the third part of this deck, which is career focused instructional sequence. Very important for many high school administrators, right? For a student to earn the college and career pathway endorsement, they must have 2 years of secondary coursework or equivalent that articulate to a post-secondary credential or prepare them for some post-secondary degree. This is very similar to like a CTE program of study, but now there's a unique feature to this. For a student to earn the pathway endorsement, not only must they have 2 years worth of courses, some of those courses must be for early college credit. Specifically, the student must earn 6 hours of early college credit. That means they can earn early college credit as a result of dual credit, dual enrollment, articulated credit, AP courses, IB courses, so on and so forth, right? What we are encouraging high school districts to do is when you're creating a pathway at the high school level, really try to mix and match your career focused courses to be strategic and to also involve as many hours of early college credit or dual credit or AP opportunities as possible so students can succeed to earn the pathway endorsement. I want to kind of take us down to the bottom part of the screen where it says academic readiness. It is required that a student earning the pathway endorsement place into college level math and college level English by the time they graduate high school. They should be avoiding remedial instruction when they enroll at the post-secondary institution. And many districts are accomplishing this by the implementation of a transitional math, transitional English course, but a student could display academic readiness also through sufficiently high SAT scores, ACT scores, or passing dual credit or AP courses in English and math while in high school. Last but not least, one of the new requirements for the college and career pathway endorsement is this requirement around professional learning or work-based learning. While the program of study in the past has involved some level of work-based learning activities and before, and that has been a part of many high school experiences, the pathway endorsement earner must have a very unique set of numeric experiences tallied and kind of made cohesive throughout their high school um, trajectory. That includes such activities as career exploration activities, such as like a site visit or engagement with an employer on a job shadow. A student must do something called a team-based challenge, which is like project-based learning with an adult mentor where they present out the results. Think of like Shark Tank or like a robotics competition. And last but not least, what sometimes is a heavier lift, but many districts are accomplishing this, a student must graduate high school with 60 hours of paid or for credit kind of internship or similar experience under their belt, right? This is kind of emulating a real world experience in the industry sector, and that kind of internship must be within the industry sector or the endorsement area that the student is seeking the pathway endorsement, right? It's going to emulate a real world experience for them, and that paid or for credit experience is going to vary by district. Those 60 hours can be done all at once, maybe one summer, or they can be done over multiple years, maybe 30 hours a year over a period of time. That is up to you, but they must tally up to 60 hours of paid or for credit work-based learning internship experience. So when we think about kind of a student graduating with the college and career pathway endorsement, I really like to think of them as unique and different from a traditional high school student in several ways. First, a student is now going to have a certain set of foundational skills for all careers, right? They're going to have a certain set of employability because they have experience working in a team, working with employers, showing up to a workplace. They're going to have a familiarity with a lot of kind of unique features of timeliness and essential employability skills. Next, the student is going to be unique in that they're going to be accelerated towards a career area, right? They're going to have multiple years of coursework within an industry sector, and they're going to have a certain higher mastery, higher expertise from that area because they've taken early college courses within that industry sector. Some of their courses and some of the courses that they've been designed in their pathway are going to be going beyond just the traditional CTE, and there's attention paid to the general education courses. Perhaps a student is going to earn an industry credential by the time they're in graduate high school and things of that nature. So there's going to be real expertise and kind of understanding of a career sector by the student in a certain career area. Last but not least, a student is going to be academically ready for college by definition of earning the college and career pathway endorsement, right? They're going to graduate high school, placing out of remedial instruction, and they're going to have under their belt some of those early college credits that are going to prove that they're ready and eligible and capable of succeeding at the post-secondary space. What is happening statewide with pathway endorsements? Here at Education System Center, we manage a coalition of districts throughout the state who have been early adopters of the Pathway Endorsement Framework and are helping students accomplish these goals. Starting in 2007, we've been kind of recruiting high school districts as well as kind of their community college, EFE, and university partners. And we feel that we confidently have about 73 school districts throughout the state, representing around 107 high schools, or around 16% of the state's high schools implementing in some way the college and career pathway endorsement framework. This includes urban settings, suburban schools, and also rural communities as well. And we're pretty proud that we have traditional high schools, competency-based education, or more kind of pathway, wall-to-wall pathway districts in our portfolio and in our partnership. I wanted to highlight here that we have a podcast with some of these high schools or some of these districts and kind of talking about early implementation, some of their successes and early challenges. So we encourage all of you to kind of check out this link on your screen and kind of listen to some of those features and some of those implementation. I want to give you all a quick case study about the first high school district in the state who graduated students with the college and career pathway endorsement. And this district is Ridgewood High School. District 234 was the first district to get approved by ISB and have students graduate with college and career pathway endorsements. We have a unique blog post on them that we encourage you all to check out, but I'll summarize it in the next screen. But in this blog post, you can see more robust aspects of their work. What I like about Ridgewood High School District's implementation is they had students earn a pathway endorsement in two subject areas, human and public services and education, but also the MET pathway endorsements of manufacturing, engineering, technology, and trades. For the education pathway, they really partnered with their local university, Northeastern Illinois University, and had students travel to Northeastern for a lot of the kind of advanced coursework in the education pathway. But also for the manufacturing pathway students, they were unique in that they not only partnered with their local community college, which in this case was Triton College, but they also partnered with the Technology and Manufacturing Association, where students took some of their upper level coursework in kind of CNC machining, NIMS credentials, so they can earn the kind of pathway endorsement. What I like about their kind of pathway setup, once again, is that the students earning the pathway endorsement were not only ready for post-secondary success, but they were also ready for employment success. So, and they had the opportunity to do both. So in manufacturing, some of the 5 students who earned the manufacturing pathway endorsement, immediately, some of those students immediately entered into the workforce and accepted a job at a local manufacturing plant. But others went on to kind of pursue a bachelor's degree in engineering and had more experience and understanding of that because of their pathway experiences. In the education pathway, many of the students then kind of went on to a four-year university and are seeking a major in the College of Education within that university space. What I wanted to highlight for you all once last time is this webpage here on your screen by Education System Center, the College and Career Pathway Endorsements page. On this screen, once again, you'll see a lot of the facts that I've mentioned in this presentation, as well as kind of some of the pathways endorsement framework that I talked about, the requirements. This is a very helpful page for those kind of looking to implement. I also wanted to highlight a very valuable kind of resource here, which is the technical employee and essential employability competencies, but also wanted to highlight this kind of category right here, the Career Pathways Dictionary. For those of you looking to implement some of the work-based learning aspects of the pathway endorsement and are trying to figure out if what you're currently doing or what you're planning to do is going to meet the requirements, we highly encourage you to look at this Career Pathways Dictionary and scroll all the way to the back, such as the definition of a career development experience, a team-based challenge, a career exploration activity. These definitions here are going to give you some guidance if your work-based learning activities are meeting the requirements of the pathway endorsement. And there's also going to be definitions around dual credit, articulated credit, and things of that nature in here. Some other resource, once again, there's going to be a link to our podcast and some other suggested program of study or course sequences for the various pathway areas that all of you may be kind of benefiting from looking at. For any more questions, I encourage you kind of to check out our webpage at Education System Center. Send us, follow us on Twitter, and kind of send us any questions or concerns. And I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.